Should be played at high volume. Should be played at high volume. Should be played at high volume.
What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, welcome to the show. My name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. We got another afternoon power hour live stream rolling. It's 2:43 p.m. Eastern on this beautiful Wednesday, August 20th. Gonna see if we can't keep the show rolling. Before we jump into it, make sure you read what's on the screen. I'm really not feeling like I want to read this disclaimer, but I'll read it for you guys in a second. Just watching something on Bookmap. Make sure you read what's on the screen. What's up, chat? Yassine first. Congratulations. Scott, Keon, what's going on? Jordan, Wolf, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading's risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research and make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Remember, guys, I'm just an idiot here yapping on YouTube and everywhere else for entertainment purposes only. That's what we're doing here, having some fun. So, we are back at it again for Power Hour. I got ES loaded up because I've been watching ES all day. I know we've been scalping MNQ here into the close, but I'm watching ES at least for right now. We might come over MES actually. We might come over to NQ, but we're gonna be taking a look at what we did earlier on stream. A little bit of a frustrating session. I posted, I don't want to complain. We're all W's. Straight green, straight wins this week. No complaints. No, not going to be upset. We're not going to be ungrateful. But I'm going to talk about what happened when I was on stream towards the end of it when I had to hop off a little bit early before I really got to finish out a trade and how that affected my trade, kind of how I make the decision. Because I think it's important, right? We can always talk about, our trading itself, our analysis, our execution. But every once in a while, we get a demonstration of something, something interesting. And I definitely had that today when I was interrupted by guys who are working on my house. Yeah, so let's start there, man. Let's start there. So we sold off at the open. I'll transition right now into that. What's up, chat? Appreciate you guys hopping on. We sold off into the open. Really got just a little bit of a break and retest of VWAP here. Maybe like that's all you needed to get short, and you were going to be short towards. Is this overnight low down here? I'm gonna come back to ES for a second, even though definitely don't want to be trading 5 ES. Yeah, maybe short towards overnight low here. That was your play. I didn't get a short on this. Did not get a short on this. I caught a long right down in here, down below prior week low. Got stopped for break even. That was I would say, decent trade management because we did continue to sell off. Then I got long right down in here around the 70s. Right down in here, right? Can't remember exactly what my long... Let me see exactly what my long entry was because I commented on... I got long 63.73 and a half. So I got long right in here somewhere. Held on to that bad boy all the way back up. My actual close was, let's be accurate about it. I think it was 86 something. Yeah, it was down below VWAP. I think it was 86 something, 86 and a half, somewhere into here near 89 and a half. I'm not exactly sure, but somewhere in here. We sold off super aggressively, started to find some buyers, started to get a climb up back in CVD. I liked it long. Like taking a short down here, in my humble opinion, a little bit aggressive. I mean, a short for a break and retest on something like that would have paid really, really nicely. I think that's reasonable, right? Coming through prior week low, finding some buyers, pulling back up, and then dumping through on volume. I think that's nice. Down here, big buyers stepping in right off the 70s. I was eyeballing this level as we were coming into it right here. That's why I was interested to get long here. Anyway, we ran it $330 times 7. No real complaints here. The only thing that I had go on, which I think is worth talking about, is I was interrupted. I was so rudely interrupted. I wasn't rudely interrupted. There are guys that are working on windows and inspection stuff. I have to keep getting up, right? And I've made this mistake before. I've made the mistake of when I either lose focus or my session gets interrupted or something goes on, right? Internet starts glitching. The tools that we're using start glitching, whatever it is, right? And you're not focused. Like check that box. You're definitely not focused. And or you have to stop trading really quickly. I have a rule, right? We kind of talked about this. Trader Julie Kate was on here talking about this. We talked about having some rules for myself, and I know I have one in that situation. If I have a trade on, if I don't have a trade on, I'm done. I'm stepping away. If I have a trade on, I'm either pulling the set it and forget it, set the take profit, set the stop loss, and walk away. If I already have that in place, if I'm already distracted, trying to set a take profit and stop loss, it's like it's too late. You're already cooked, right? So I didn't have a take profit in place. I was tempted to maybe hold it. I started to look for a second. You can go back and watch the end of the video. And I made the decision to just close it out. Because it's one of two. Close it out or set it and forget it. It's frustrating, was frustrating, to see the market continue to rally back above VWAP and then even higher, all the way back into the overnight low level, right? I'm okay holding my trades all damn day, right? This first one that we took for break even was a little bit different. This one down here, this was a hold, long hold trade. Had I not been interrupted, I would have likely at least, I think the close was 86.5. I don't know why, somewhere down here. I would have likely at least been able to grab, let's say, 10 more points out of it, at least 40 more ticks. And that's, that's frustrating, but part of trading. So anyway, I would encourage you guys, because what the opposite is, you don't set it and forget it. You don't have a take profit. I walked away without a take profit on multiple times. Not a smart thing to do in these markets. Trump markets, crazy. So I would encourage you guys to think about that. When you get interrupted, when you get distracted, when you have internet issues, when you have platform issues, what are you going to do? You should have a protocol for it, right? This is a business. What are you going to do when this happens? If you don't know and you just, shoot from the hip, it's going to be different every time. You don't have consistency. You don't have a way to manage risk. So I've made the mistake before. I've made the mistake before when I start to have an issue with one of the tools that I use. Keep trading. Losses, tilts, frustration, just not good stuff. I've continued to trade when I'm distracted, and I shouldn't have. Multiple times, right? So my rules are set it and forget it, set a take profit and stop loss, if I can. If I can't, like today, that was managed the right way. Close it out. Grab profit, it was actually a join ask to get out. Call it a day. You're not able to trade. You're done. Or at least for now, you're done in that trade. And you're not in a spot where I could set a good take profit. I'm just going to be throwing something in randomly. If it came all the way back down on me through stop loss and I had a take profit in that was in a dumb spot, I'd look back and say, trade mismanaged. So not really a common thing to talk about, but it could be an account killer. It could be the whole account. It really can. Or it could be big losses in a live account. If you start to get distracted, you should have a game plan. What are you going to do? So that was my morning this morning. Took a W and could have been a little bit more, but here we are just chopping around VWAP. So, sold off, came back up to VWAP, and now we've just been chopping back and forth. Tested overnight low. We got a little range going here. This isn't super exciting to trade. I want to hop on. I said I was going to be on here with you guys, so I'm here. I'm not super duper excited about this session, just based on market structure. Big sell-off, big recovery, not all the way, back up through the open, but looking bullish on this. We're continuing to fail to go lower. I don't know why we would just absolutely dump into the afternoon. I think this level here, this prior week low came into play all day. VWAP came into play all dang day. Provided some interesting spots. So we'll see. I got the 50Ks loaded up. We'll see if we can't grab something on here. Looking bullish overall, but I'm going to have to wait to see as we start to come into the last hour of the trading day. What's up, David? What's going on? Kobe, maybe that's from earlier. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Wolf, Brian C., how you doing, brother? Yeah, what's going on, Brian? What's going on, Wolf? What's going on, Scott? What's happening? I know it's big. What's the big button? Gotta get this account back. Had a glitch. That's funny, Z. I had a glitch today. It must be psychic. Yeah, no, it happens, man. It happens. Listen, this is technical stuff, right? We're using computers, internet connection, different platforms, web-based, desktop-based. It gets jacked up. Have a protocol for what you're going to do. Otherwise, it's probably not going to go great for you, right? I've jacked it up enough times to know that I should have, something in place. Let's see. Let's go. Now you can focus on, let's see. Decipher the Algo. What's up? Christian, what's going on, man? Have a new electrical panel going in the house. Rewiring starting in like a week. Def not going to try to manage trades with all that going on. Nah, man. Nah, it becomes a nightmare. Like, I had this going on. I knew the guys were going to be here. It was like the third time the dude knocked on my door to just go and get some help. And, every time that happens, I'm stepping away. I had to, like, come back in, leave. Not a great situation. Yeah. $65.58. Just reading the chat with you guys here. What's up? Free Zex, what's up? Jordan, what's going on? Guys? Scalps after the dip worked well today. 3 accounts green. Very nice. Protocol for the hotel. Use T-Mobile phone as a hotspot. Hurricane, duck and cover. It's pretty good protocol, Scott. It's pretty good protocol. So, yeah, guys. Again, I was looking at this. Obviously, I watched the markets during the day. I was looking at this before coming out, getting ready to hop back on, and I'm not super stoked on it. It just, this looks like a bullish move, right? Out of ES here. Let's see what. Yeah, very similar. Excuse me. Very similar structure out of Nasdaq. This is MNQ. We were talking about VWAP in Discord. There we go. Resetting VWAP. Come on, reset. Snapback. No, not going to do it. Really similar structure out of NQ, all right? Just kind of back up towards VWAP and now chopping around. That's really all we did into the afternoon. Didn't continue that gnarly sell-off. NQ started to find buyers before that 23,000 even level. Nice key psychological level came into play today. And then right back up to VWAP. So, yeah, this is kind of just choppy, rangy. Getting involved with price action up here outside of like the super duper, scalping like crazy that we were, you saw me messing around with on last couple weeks. Outside of that, it gets a little bit dicey to say we got a really nice opportunity in here. But we'll see if some momentum comes in, some volume comes into the market. Anything can happen, right? Wild markets. Taking a look at Bookmap, not too much standing out here on ES. The 420s, the 6420s for you stoners in the group. Maybe the 410s if we continue to pop to the upside out of this little range here, but kind of choppy. We left a whole bunch on the book down below price today after hitting. No. Wait a minute. Yeah, I was gonna say this was way too zoomed in, so I was like, that's not right. Here was our recovery starting after selling off. I'm sorry. Let me zoom way back out. Let me get my time scale corrected here. Thank you, ES. Sorry. I thought I had Bookmap running all day. This was a little bit choppy. Here's what we were looking at. 70s. I was like, I watched it all morning. I know that didn't look right. Bookmap can kind of jump around if you scroll too quickly. Or you can be ways too zoomed in and not really know about it unless you look at the time axis. 70s, right? Found some buyers off this. I got long in here somewhere. We sold off a little bit more. Really nice recovery all the way back up. Now, this must have just been my computer going to sleep for a little bit. Now, looking at current liquidity above and below price here on Bookmap. What could come into play reasonably by the end of the session here, coming into power hour. We got 3 minutes till 3 p.m. Maybe the 420s to the upside. Maybe a little bit above that if we continue to push. The 380s, nice stack of orders down there, and it's not terribly thin in between the 380s. It's not like nothing, right? We got a couple stacks of orders over here to the downside. So only really standout spots are going to be that 380 and the 420 level. So let's see. Let's see what we got. Yeah, back into prior day low. Maybe all the way back up. Could see that. Could potentially see that. But for now, I'm hanging tight, guys. This is just kind of choppy around VWAP. Nothing too exciting. But let's see what we got. Crane and Bird Sanctuary. I thought the... Oh, is it Palantir? PLTR? How do you pronounce that? Palantir. Okay, I got it right. Yes. Yeah, Palantir puts buying more. Yeah, that one went crazy, man. I definitely think it was selling off, right? Selling off pretty harshly. I definitely think if you guys were getting long that one, I don't know, maybe it bounces. I don't know, but it was a hell of a run up, an insane run up. That was one of the very few stocks that I've seen actually people talk about ahead of time, and a couple of the stock picker boys, as we call them, called that one out pretty early. But I think it was selling off really aggressively. Speaking of dogs. Is your VWAP 6390.08? My VWAP is 6396.02 on the 1 minute chart here on Project X. On the 15-minute chart, it displays at 6395.55. 6396.02, 6395.55. So within a half a point. If I look at TradingView, just out of curiosity, we were talking a lot about VWAP in Discord. It displays 6396.02. Yep. So similar, very similar spot there, right around that 63.96 level here in ES. Shopping around VWAP. Do we start to push off here? We start to really get the end of the day climb. I mean, there's a long play here if we really wanted to run it long into the close. I'm going to watch what happens if we dip down here around VWAP again. I'm interested to see, do we come right back down around VWAP? Maybe try to find buyers again, or do we start to sell off? We start to kind of turn. I think more abnormal price action to form on this would be a just complete sell-off into the close. I could see a pop back up, kind of finishing a really strong drive, finishing this complete erasing of this downtrend for the day. That's kind of feels like the one that would piss everybody off the most, so I like that one. Yeah, but I don't have a strong setup either way on this just yet, guys. We have to wait and see. We'll let some more price action form. Looking somewhat long on this, but this is not really much. Not really much. Could target the 20s from down here. Maybe we run an MOC trade long. We do something fun. But I'm hanging tight. Hanging tight. See if we can't get something starts to move for us. Get some momentum into this afternoon market, this power hour market. Is my volume low, guys? Maybe I'm just turning my head. Let me know if my volume's low. Someone besides Ange. Because it looks pretty good on my end. But if you guys got questions, feel free to ask away. I don't yeah, no, not to like single you out, but yeah, I think the volume's straight. I had to take a clip from earlier today, and volume sounded good. So I think when I do this, right, like if I turn my head completely and start talking, you can't hear anything until I come all the way back around. So I got this nice boomy microphone right here. But I think we're straight. But you're always okay to tell me I'm muted or something, or something doesn't sound good. But if you guys got questions, feel free to ask away. Let me hop in Discord, see if we can't answer anything. What we were talking about. Brian was getting long. 5-minute demand on YM. Nice. Looks like a great trade on YM, Brian. Very nice. Solid day. FOMC media minutes really didn't do much. We were talking about, would you rather have, someone posted this, Dre, would you rather $100 million or one night with ICT? I posted somebody that said that they have created a 100% win rate model. Yes, 100%. They were dead serious about that. I think that was in contention for one of the worst things I've ever seen posted in the trading space. But there's a lot of terrible stuff out there. A lot of just horrible, bad information, and it sucks. People want to be lied to, unfortunately. People really want to know that there's easy money out there and that there's some infinite money glitch and you just have to pay $19.99 and somebody's going to sell that to you. And I can assure you that it's not out there. You might have to spend $19.99 a couple times before you figure that out yourself. But there's no 100% win rate models, okay? Not a single one. Just reading through Discord. Again, you guys got questions, feel free, ask away in trading questions, right? Looking for trading questions in the chat. Just wanted to see. Oh, someone asked me about volume profile, so I'll show this. This is my visible range volume profile, VRVP, also known as volume profile visible range. Here's my settings on it. I do this every once in a while. Everybody always wants to know what volume profile is. We've got, this has changed. I think it's like 30 or 35. It just brings it over to the right-hand side a little bit so it doesn't block out price action so much. Colors are a little bit different, right? Basic color stuff. One of the only other important settings I have changed on here, point of control is a little bit different color. One of the other settings I have on here that's different is the row size. The row size increased to 200, so it breaks it down like this, nice and granular. Nice and granular. Yeah, we talked about brackets and fun stuff. You getting in on ICG's new membership, Zach? No, I don't think so. I would prefer to just light my money on fire. That's what I would do there. Let's see. Can I glue your excess hair to my balding head? No, I don't think so. But I used to have really long hair, guys. For those of you that don't know, you can go back into my my streams. And I donated it. I cut it all off, and I donated it to Locks of Love. I have a certificate from Locks of Love. Somebody that, unfortunately, somebody maybe with hair loss has a really nice head of hair from me. But that's a funny question. Not a trading question, but one that I would answer. Scott's got more questions. Y'all at Top Futures former DJs? No. Yeah, guys, again, man, this market, I'm just chatting with you because this market's really not doing too much. I want to take trades. I don't want to have no trade sessions on here, but you know, I've gotten better over the years. I'm not a pro at it, but I've gotten better over the years of determining when I really shouldn't be doing anything in the market. And this is kind of one of those times. It's just not super clear. Gun to my head, I'm long. If I had to be long, outside of really zoomed in high frequency scalping on NQ, which I'm not doing, I don't know that I'm going to have something too nice. Again, I think we run long towards prior day low. And maybe if we were like, you know, if we were down in here somewhere testing prior week low, I would try it. Why? Much better risk to reward, right? I'd be taking a long down here. I wouldn't have to have an insanely wide stop loss. And, you know, maybe we pop on MOC. I'm able to capture something really nice. From up here, you know, what's my thesis? That we go and run right here, right now. We're breaking to the upside. This is the new trend that forms. It's not really how I trade. It's not my approach. This is choppy consolidating price action. I'd be trading for a breakout of a range. I would need a stop like way down here to allow for a sweep of this low. I wouldn't want to be out short until we were down here. And that's why I would like it from like way down here, you know, something along these lines. So maybe if we pull back around VWAP, I'd be interested in something. Interested in long something. We start to see a lot of volume or momentum come in. I might look for something, but I could see maybe these orders getting swept up here. I always prefer to be long into MOC. That just depends to just seems like it's a smart move, but not all in itself. So anyway, we'll see. If I buy 50K and hook it up to my 150K, Scott, you can copy trade, or do they have to be the same amount? You can copy trade different account sizes in top 1 futures, but you can't copy trade different types, meaning you can't copy trade an instant funded with a straight to funded pro, right? So that's the deal. But yes, you can copy trade different account sizes, but there is one thing: you have to lead with the larger account. Oh wait, no, you have to lead with the smaller account. The larger account has to be the follower. So if you want to copy, which makes sense, right? Otherwise, it would allow you to over leverage, but it automatically will not let you copy trade from a 150K to a 50K. But you can copy trade from a 50K to 150K, if that makes sense. Good morning, but this afternoon has been garbage. I don't think there's much to trade at the moment. Nah, man. Again, you could scalp in between this stuff, but this was a really nice, gnarly sell-off. If you call it shorts, beautiful. And then a really nice, gnarly pullback up. Gnarly meaning quite a few points on the table, right? You could have made money long today. You could have made money short today. Very, very nice for those that just trade breakouts in one direction. Not bad for me, who trades, reversions back to VWAP. Can't complain at all. End in green. And I'd like something here, but this is just not so great, guys. There's really only one thing to do here. Really two things to do here. You pick a direction and you trade it directionally, meaning I'm going to trade for an extension outside of this consolidation, or you trade within it. And you just anticipate this to continue. We continue to bounce back and forth. Maybe you trade from the extremes back to the middle ground, right? So as we're coming down, very simply, you have a way to identify your range. Maybe it's like this, and you continue to take these style of trades until they don't work, right? You really only take losses when we break out and actually move directionally, right? But you take, trades similar to this. We start to come down around the lows, around prior week low, you get long. We pop up around the highs, you start to scale into shorts, right? Limit orders, range trading. What's up? What's up, Muhammad from Kick? Let's see. What were we talking about? Is that okay, or do they have to be the same? Yeah, so we talked about that. What is MOC? MOC is market on close, and it's actually kind of thrown around in a little bit different ways, but it's the market on close that we say is at 3:50 p.m. is information regarding the orders in the stock market, which are underlying this asset that we're trading here, the ES futures contract, the S&P 500 futures contract, that have usually a strong impact in volatility into the last 10 minutes. So I believe there's actually multiple sets of data that comes out, but at 3:50 p.m., there's a lot of data that comes out. MOC is a market on close order type to buy or sell. How long were you trading before you got your first payout? I was trading quite a while before I made money in live accounts, because I was trading live accounts far before I was trading prop firms. So most of, and the basics of that answer for me, about 2.5 years of just straight up losing before I just started to grab onto some consistency and break even, because that's the way that it goes. People usually just think you go from being an absolute garbage, terrible losing trader to you flip a page one day and you never lose money again. Not how it happened for me, not how I see it happen for most. But about 2.5 years of much more focused trading, right? Not just in the markets. But most people that ask that question are asking because, Joe, it's good, good questions. They're asking because they want to know for themselves, right? The underlying question there, because I used to ask it, is, how long did it take everybody to start making money trading, right? Because I want to know how long I can expect. And here's the honest answer to the question, because we had some honesty before. Here's the honest answer to that question. As we pop towards the 420s, and I'm not in a long here that would be playing out pretty nicely. It takes a long time. A long time. I don't know many traders. I don't even know if I know one trader that I don't know if I know a single trader that in under 2 or 3 years started to make money trading, started to actually grab onto some consistency trading. Certainly not a year. So this is a long game. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, right? It's like any other profession or sport. And then even at that 2 to 3 year mark, I'm not talking about a trader that has it all figured out. All of a sudden, it's all Rolexes and Lambos and they're good to go, right? You haven't been here long enough, right? You haven't been here to beat and compete with the guys that have been here for 6 years or 10 years or 20 years, right? Plenty that are way ahead of me. So honestly, I would say if you're getting into trading, right, it's your day one, what could you expect before you start to grab onto some consistency? Probably into that 2 to 3 year mark, realistically, at the absolute bare minimum. And I'm talking about just to start breaking even, not to make money, just maybe to start snagging some payouts. It depends so much on what you have going on outside of trading, your capital allocation, and how much time you're dedicating to trading, right? When I got really serious about trading, and I don't say this to brag, but just to talk about it, I've talked about it on podcasts and interviews and all that fun stuff. When I got really serious about trading, I was working a full-time job, and I was waking up I was going to bed super early. I did this for a decent amount of time. And I would wake up in the middle of the night. I would wear an Apple Watch so I wouldn't wake my wife up. And I'd have an alarm go off. I'd wake up in the middle of the night so I could trade London session because I couldn't focus during the day on trading. I was working. And I traded London session for hours. And then maybe I read, backtested, studied, reviewed trades, journaled. Maybe I caught a nap, worked a full-time job, a career, and then got home and did the same thing. Traded, studied, backtested, journaled, went to bed super early, woke up in the middle of the night, traded. On the weekends, I was listening to every single psychology book on tape while I was training and running and doing all this different stuff. So it was a lot of focus work once I got serious about it, because at first it was just oh look, stocks, you can make money with stocks, and then you're in the markets and you're kind of just starting to learn stuff, and then it was crypto, and I was like, ooh, technical analysis. Let me start to learn about that. You're losing money, and you go, okay, let me try to figure this thing out. I can figure it out, and then you start to get more and more serious about it. You realize it's not something that's going to be easily done. But a long period of time, man. Long period of time. Yeah. Maybe that answers the question. But yeah, for the most part, here's the simple answer is it's going to take way longer than you think. There is no finish line. It's going to be harder than anything you think, that it will be on the front end. And it should be, right? It should be. But it's oftentimes sold as this get rich quick scheme, or you just need to figure it out, or this one, I keep seeing this post. This is the only model to change your life. This one strategy or thing to change your life. No, man. No, not at all. Not at all. You gotta go through the fire. So anyway, yeah. And again, I still now about 6 years in the markets. I don't consider myself to be the best trader. I'm definitely not everywhere that I'd like to be. I don't think I'll ever be where I like to be, right? That's the mindset that we keep. But you continue to get better. If you put the work in and you actually trade and you journal and you focus and you're not just YOLOing prop firm accounts for no reason, you're not just gambling. If you want to do that and just lose money, just go to the casino and at least have fun. But if you're putting the work in, you'll continue to get better. It can feel like forever before you start to make progress, and then there's these nice jumps in progress, right? That's kind of how it goes. But it might take somebody a couple years. It might take somebody a decade. It depends on a number of different factors, but it also depends on how much work you're putting in, right? Somebody that's dedicating 8 hours a day and doing really serious focused work versus someone who's, kind of hanging out for 45 minutes at the end of the day, cruising the charts and throwing a couple trades on, they're going to have drastically different learning curves, right? And how long things take them. Same thing like anything else. But it does take a long time. I look around me, I look at, experience. I don't hear any of those stories. I don't know anybody. So people always want to look at the bare minimum. I think the bare minimum, the best cases for most traders are a few years, not one, a few years of focused work, right? To just start to grab some consistency and break even and build some confidence and discipline and, go through all of that. And then how long to continue to get better? It's a never-ending journey, right? You're continuing to scale. You always want to scale and be able to trade more size. And that in itself is a never-ending pursuit, right? It's like you're walking on a tightrope and you start to learn to trade and the tightrope's on the ground. It's the Tom Hogarth example. And as you want to put more risk on the line and be able to manage more money and maybe trade larger in prop firm accounts, trade a personal account, trade larger size, manage multiple accounts, you're continuing to raise that tightrope up. And, you say, Zach, I figured out how to trade. It's all the same, right? Well, it is the same, right? It's the same like you're walking on a tightrope. It's the same when it's 12 inches off the ground, and it's the same when it's 1,200 feet off the ground, except it's not the same, right? The risk is different. And that risk plays a role in your execution, your ability to walk across that tightrope, right? You put 100 people in a line. You probably get a lot of them to walk across the tightrope when it's 6 inches off the ground and it's nice, above some nice grass. And you put it in between the Grand Canyon and nobody can walk across it. Why? It's the same thing, but all of a sudden it's not. Your knees get weak, palms get sweaty, right? All of a sudden you're nervous, you're breathing heavy, you're looking down, right? It's the same thing with trading. You put a lot of risk on the line, you feel those things, you see that. So it's this never-ending, journey. So anyway, focus on the process, focus on the small stuff, set small goals for yourself. Look at what's working, look at what's not working, review. It's not terribly complex, but you got to put the work in. And then again, a lot of it is experience. A lot of that time, I really believe, most of it's wasted on strategy hopping. And for me, most of it was wasted on strategy hopping, searching for the Holy Grail, trying to make a 100% rules-based objective system, all of those things, enormous amount of time and money wasted. And then also just not focusing on psychology, mindset, and risk management, just hyper focusing on the markets itself. If you can really understand where you need to apply focus early on, I think that could be helpful also. Knees weak, palms sweaty. Yeah, everybody always says that when I say something. Let's see. I was way behind. You ever trade gold? I have traded gold a little bit, but not really ever consistently. No. Let's see. I'm only about a year in. Yeah, very early. Very early. It's helpful to hear from people. It takes a while, so I don't take the losses so hard. Yeah. Joe, again, I don't want to be like discouraging to people, but I wish somebody told me that early on. I wish I heard less of I got profitable in 3 months. I started making money in 6 months. You don't have to waste time if you just look at this strategy. That's a bunch of BS, man. And I wish someone told me, hey, bro, you want to make money trading, sitting behind the computer in your AC clicking buttons? Just be able to make money like that? Why do you think it's going to take you a year or two? You're up against people that have been doing it for 10 years and 15 years and 20 years, right? In what profession would you walk into in 1 year you're going to be able to make a lot of money? It's not out there. It's not here with trading. That's a fallacy. So I think that's important. Most of the people that I will say, there's some interesting exceptions to this, just while I'm on this pedestal about it. There's some stuff out there that you see where people are hitting a really early home run, okay? I personally didn't have that. I was just kind of the slow bleed. I also wasn't the blow-up king. Most people kind of go one way or the other. They're like to blow everything, run themselves into debt, slow bleed, which I was, or they hit an insane... I had a little bit of luck with stocks early on, but they hit like an insane winning streak or something really early on, for the first couple months or something where they just can't lose. And that looks like a lot of early success, right? Also, there's just sim farmers. There's just a lot of people out there that are exploiting the prop firm environment, and you don't need to know how to trade to do that. You just need to know how to do basic math and have basic risk management and a big bankroll, and that can look like early success. So I will say that that's out there. Let's see. Come on, man. ICT is the right way. Yeah, listen, you guys trade whatever you want to trade, right? You want to trade whatever you want to trade. I have a thick head. Started over 4 years ago. Spent all day trading, but still at day one. Same mistakes. Holding losers. Adding. Sonny's gadget review, man. It's a good conversation. Again, guys, market's pushing high. I don't really have a trade. I was looking towards the 20s. No way to structure risk by the time that I hopped on. 323. We'll see if we get something. Otherwise, I'm going to talk with you guys. So, you know, don't, I'm always happy to say, like, maybe don't expect a ton of trades out of me today. This market really wasn't presenting much for me outside of randomly getting long with a bad risk structure. Here we go, trade at the 20s. That's what I was looking for on Bookmap. Just to talk about it real quick. Right? I said to the upside, if you hop on, you can go back, take a look. I said to the upside, 380s. Where was 380s? Yeah. To the upside, 420s. To the downside, 380s. We were looking at these two levels right here, right? Liked it bullish overall, the way we were holding VWAP. But no execution, right? Not a good way to structure risk. So maybe we keep running. Maybe we run it all the way back. Like I said, that's what I think would be more normal, for lack of a better term, than just selling off. So I'd be cautious, just shorten the heck out of this thing. I think the morning was your opportunity to do that. But outside of that, we'll have good conversations. Yeah, man. So Sonny's gadget reviews. Yeah, man. I would say slow down, right? I would say slow down and take a hard look at what you're doing, right? It can be tough to do, but that's where I would go with it. Slow way down, review what's going well, what's not going well, and where you need to improve, and then set small goals to work on. Small goals. Is Austin Silver your brother? No. Austin Silver is not my brother. But he is a friend. Austin's the man. If you guys don't know, Austin Silver runs ASFX TV. He runs a ton of stuff in the futures market. If you're looking for other guys to trade live with, VWAP traders that are looking for a serious mentorship program, I'm looking for a podcast where he interviews a ton of different traders. I'm on there. That's a great spot for it. But Austin is the man. That's what I'm doing now. Waking up early in the morning. London, got to put the work in. Only time I get in front of the charts, work, family, and the rest of the time. Yeah, that's it, man. That's the grind. Just take it slow. Just take it slow. You know, have that long-term mindset, right? Think about what you're trying to build here. You know, we get so focused on, I gotta make it work. I gotta make some money. I gotta take a payout. Well, that's not the goal, right? You want to build something repeatable to be able to scale and make money at. Started Forex like that. It was DJ at the club. We'll go home and trade 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Crazy. So far, my prop trading, one account in a week. Current account, almost 3 months, no payout. Held on to it, though. Can't complain about that. Held on to it, Scott. Let's see. You guys are funny, man. Oh, man. Nah, we love Austin. Better be careful. He hops on. He comes and hangs out on my streams. But no, Austin's a man. Been trading for damn near for forever. We did a Tampa event, which was really, really cool. I'm doing more stuff with him and his team. But yeah, he's a solid trader for sure. I started with 1,000 and an Ameritrade account before TD Thinkorswim, and I'm still trying to break the bank. Before TD or Thinkorswim. Hella early on. Yeah, man. Yep. Good questions, though, guys. Good conversation. Duck race today. Muhammad, maybe. That's going to be my response to that. Watch this market chop around. Sweep prior day low. Come back in. I want to see if we get some action coming into this 3:30 time frame. I'd like to see if we get a little bit of something coming down. Overnight low. This just isn't great structure. This just is really not great structure. What do you guys think? Let's run the poll. Oh damn, I don't even have my links in here. What the hell? Hang on, guys. We got to do the link thing. See, I forgot. I'm asleep at the wheel here. If you want to check out Top 1 Futures, here is the link on YouTube, and it's pinned. And here is the bam. Here is the link from Top 1 Futures. Please don't be offended. Are you making funny money from referrals? Yes, I make money from partnerships and affiliates. Yes, I do. How much and whether or not that means not really, that's going to be individual to everybody. And I'm not going to give you those numbers, but yeah, I make a considerable amount from what I do around trading. And what I love about that partnership is what I talked about on IG today, is that you don't have to buy anything. You don't have to even subscribe or like or comment to hang out here with me, ask questions, and watch me trade live 2 times a day. Almost 2 times a day. You don't have to pay me anything to hop in the 100% free trading Discord that I run. That's not a VIP feeder program or a course or a mentorship or any of that stuff. It's really why I like the route that I went, which is partner with companies that I utilize myself, that I believe in, that I think are great opportunities. And believe me, I can't partner with anybody that I want, right? But I can partner with a lot of them. I get emails every single week from prop firms, software companies, trading companies, order flow companies, everybody and their mother. Tons of things thrown at me every single week. I'd say at a bare minimum, 2 to 3 offers for partnership affiliations per week that I get to my email. I pick companies that I like, right? That I believe in, that I'm hella bullish on, for lack of a better term. And I partner and affiliate with them. Get you guys the best deal, because code RDF will get you the best deal, better than the website, better than the email. And then do everything free, right? Share my trading journey, and I do make some money on that on the back end, man. But it's nice. Because again, you might say, hey, Top 1 Futures and Bookmap suck. I don't like them at all. I think they are terrible opportunities. I like to use Sierra charts, and I like to trade with Top Step. And I'd say, cool, man, that's good for you. You might have really clear reasons for that. You might really be not like a consistency rule, and you might not mind taking evals. And Top Step might be a better choice for you specifically. And you might like a footprint chart. You might like a really badass, nice footprint chart. And Sierra Charts might be the option for you. If you like footprint charts, I would check out Sierra Charts. I'm not partnered affiliated with them, but you can check that out. And, I'd say that's awesome, man. Send it. But, yeah, that's the thought process. I love running my stuff free 99. It's fun. I'm watching up here on this prior day low level, man. I don't have a long off of this now. I kind of am eyeballing a short, but I think that's just trying to find something. I really just think that's trying to find something. That's my thought here. I really don't like this short. Overall, I don't like the trend that we're forming. I liked it long. I'm looking off of a level here. Like I would be valid taking one, but I don't want to be short into MOC. I think we run up towards the highs on this, Oh, yeah. I always go for the laugh. I'm going to get free diapers. Yeah. What is the target for a funded 25K account? Off the charts. For a 25K instant funded account with Top 1 Futures, or for an evaluation account? PW says main name Rose. Yeah, man. You can make a lot of money with partnerships and affiliations. You can make a lot of money selling courses. You can make a lot of money mentoring. You can make a lot of money with a VIP program. You can make a lot of money around the things that you do, for sure. Let's see. Top 1 Futures. We're looking at the 25K. Let's look at this together. The 25K account on Top 1 Futures. If you are trading the instant funded, the instant sim funded, I think this is all going to be the same, which is going to be 6%. Yeah, so if you're trading the 25K, any of the accounts with top one, to pass the one-step challenge, you got to put up 1,500. To take a payout on the Instant Sim or the straight to funded Sim Pro account, you have to put up 6%, which is 1,500. Your max loss limit is it the same on both of them? Your max loss limit is $1,000. Max loss limit is $1,000. What up? Should have held a rudder for that long this morning. Be up a bajillion, bajillion dollars. Got another account of up 1% on. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, man. Yeah, you can send it on these, you know. We talked about it earlier, Mystic Rick, why I hopped out of that one, right? Unfortunately. If I'm going to be, I won't go through the whole entire thing again, but if I'm going to be distracted, if I'm going to be interrupted, if I'm not going to be able to focus, I give myself two options. I don't have many hard-pressed rules, right? Or things that I say, hey, this is, you know, really my game plan here, and say I won't step outside of this. But one of them is if I'm going to be completely unfocused, interrupted when I'm in a trade, I say I either got to close that trade out, just completely close it out, or I have to set a take profit and a stop loss. In this instance, with no take profit set, I actually, if you go back and watch the video, I didn't even go back and watch myself, but I can remember it. I hit limit out, and then for a second I went, maybe I'll just hold on to it. Let me see. I started to look, and then I had that thought: are you already focused enough to put the take profit in? Are you comfortable picking a spot on the chart and then not watching it at all and allowing it to either run all the way back down here to a loss, wherever my stop loss was down here? And the answer to that is no. So I got to get out. But yeah, that's a play. I also don't hold runners. I don't scale out of trades. That's just not my style of trade management. Nothing wrong with it. I think that could work really, really well. But it's not my play. Yeah, and then you wait for 1 minute candle hits. One candle hit your SL. Yeah, Daniel. I think we're talking about that. Yeah, watching this thing. I think this is just going to be a yap fest, guys. We'll hang out on here. See if something sets up. But I just, you know, like when I hopped on, as I said it right off the bat, just not super excited about this market. But we sit here, we hang out, right? We wait. You never know. Maybe the market started selling off really aggressively, started pulling back, presented a really nice opportunity, but we didn't really get that so far. What is trading? You guys got some good stuff in here. What has trading taught you that you might not have done or learned if it's not for trading, that has helped in other aspects of life and day to day? A lot, man. It's a good question. That's a good question. It's a really good question. I'd say, let me think of something that's really good. Some other questions in here we'll talk. What has trading taught me that I would not have learned for in other aspects of life? Shoot, man. I think probably the biggest thing for me, and I had this lesson taught. I actually talk about this on the Austin Silver podcast that I did with him. My first podcast, my first interview, I think over a year ago, is the power of your mindset and limiting beliefs, right? I had it demonstrated to me when I was racing motocross, but I really didn't know at the time what was going on. And trading re-demonstrated that to me. And I had read enough books and learned enough in other areas of my life to know that I was really going to have to face that challenge. And it's one of the most difficult things. And here's the summary of it. If you want to read a really good book on this, it's Think and Grow Rich. It's an old book. You know, a lot of people kind of balk at it, but it's a really, really good book. Think and Grow Rich. And then also just Google the 4-Minute Mile. Roger Bannister and the 4-Minute Mile. But here's the whole thesis here, the mindset piece. If you don't believe you can do something, you won't be able to do that thing. You might get lucky. Maybe you get lucky. But until you believe without a shadow of a doubt that you can do something, just by definition, if you think about it, you won't do that thing, right? And there comes a time in anything that you haven't done yet, any difficult task, anything that you're setting out to do, like trading and be able to extract money day in and day out, right? Maybe it's breaking a record in sports, right? For me, it was winning my first motocross race. Until you believe you can do that thing, you will not go and do that thing. And you can do all the work leading up to it, and you have to. You have to put the work in. You have to have the experience. You have to tell yourself and prove to yourself and have that big stack of evidence that says you can do this thing that you're setting out to do, right, before you even stand a chance. But then you have to believe in yourself that you're actually able to do the thing. So it was demonstrated, the 4-minute mile is the example of this. But it's demonstrated in trading, right? And not a lot of people talk about this one, and it's kind of that, kind of that like towards the end of the journey piece, once you've really faced a lot of demons. But if you don't believe, if you don't have the confidence in yourself, in your system, in your edge, in your ability to manage risk, if you don't believe that you are able to make money in the markets, you won't make money. You will self-sabotage. You will have a limited belief that will always be there, that will prevent you from executing in a way that extracts money from the markets. Here's the example for me. I raced motocross all my life. I started racing when I was 4 years. Started racing motocross when I was 3.5 years old. I rode a motorcycle with no training wheels, no nothing when I was 2.5 years old. Okay. My dad was a motocross racer. I raced all my life. All the way through college, I had not won this is the true story. I had not won a single motocross race. I raced a ton of races all the way through college, and I focused a lot. I wanted to be able to start winning. I was in faster classes, and I kind of bumped myself up. My dad always put me with faster people, but I was in college. I was training. I had the best bike, the best equipment. I was focused on nutrition. My dad was coming up all the time, helping me out. And I was right there for a long period of time, ready to win, right? Most people would have said, like, you should be winning already. Like, what's going on, right? You're everything's dialed in. But I'd be right there behind first place, second place, eating dirt the whole time, right? And this is the same story. So maybe you guys have heard the podcast and I'm boring you. But I remember the race that had happened. Where I finally, I don't know exactly what it was, but I finally said, I'm going to win today. I'm going to go out and win today. I'm ready. I'm going to beat this guy. I'm going to beat everybody. I had the belief in myself. Went out and won. And that was like super awesome, super exciting, right? But that's not the point of the story. That wasn't really what happened. And I didn't understand what was happening at the time. But what happened after I won was I continued to win. I won back to back to back, like a dozen races. Nothing changed on that day. My bike didn't change. My endurance didn't change. Nothing changed. I didn't get better in some split second. I just believed. And I was trying all those other races my absolute hardest. But I believed I could win. And then I did win. And then that solidified my belief, my confidence in myself, right? It really erased that self-limiting belief. And then I continued on to be able to do that. And again, it wasn't until I reflected on that situation and heard about the 4-minute mile and learned about that stuff. These stories demonstrated it really clearly in history in the 4-minute mile. If you guys don't know that story, really simply, it's Roger Bannister is the guy who ran the 4-minute mile. For a long period of time, it's same story. Olympians were right there. They were running like within almost 1 second of 4 minutes. And the whole group would run, the best runners in the world, right, with all the best stuff for years. I forget how long that record stood, that nobody ran faster than a 4-minute mile. And they said it couldn't be done. And on one day, on a rainy, cold day, where it definitely shouldn't have happened, one guy, Roger Bannister, was crazy enough to believe that he was able to do that, and he beat that record. He broke the 4-minute mile. And then what happened afterwards? Then, like within, I think, a couple months, multiple people across all different spots ran 4-minute miles, right? And then it became a really normal, common thing for athletes to be able to run 4-minute miles. Now, of course, things are getting better. Equipment's getting better, nutrition, health, all this stuff. But there wasn't some one huge standout thing where they said, we created a new shoe that allowed everybody to run faster. No, one crazy psychopath was arrogant enough and had the conviction and belief in himself that he could do the impossible, which was impossible at that time. You're not able to do it. He did it. He proved to himself that he could do it, and he gave everybody else the confidence and the belief that they could do it. And they went out and did that. So that's a long rant, but something that I think is really important in this space and in any space in life, man. It's kind of out there. It's abstract, right? It's the life coach, guru-y, fooey thing, like whatever. I don't care. Call it whatever you want. That's heavy, man. It's heavy stuff. I think everybody should reflect on it because, again, if you don't really have the confidence that you can do something, even if you put the time and you put the work in and that's in the back of your mind that, you can't do it, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. You have to come to the charts with that arrogant confidence that you can indeed do what you're setting out to do, that you will do it without a shadow of a doubt. So that's something that I've taken from trading. That's the one of the biggest things that I've taken from trading, and I've had demonstrated to me in trading as well. The same thing, man. Same thing. So long rant, but that's it. That's it. Oh, man. Long rant. Sitting here at 25,742 in straight to fund a sim. I'm sorry, guys. We're yapping a lot, but again, if I'm going to hang out on here and not just say, oh, there's nothing to trade, we'll talk trading, right? I think we had some good questions. I'm happy to share different stuff from my journey that has been helpful. And again, I think we got a lot of new people on here. I could just see we got a ton of viewers on different spots. If you guys don't know me, I trade live here on YouTube almost every day, 100% free. Like I talked about, actually trading live. Right now, I'm not doing much more than yapping. I don't consider myself to be the best trader in the world. Don't consider myself to have it all figured out. No magic strategy, no crazy P&Ls, no live accounts with prop firms, none of that stuff, right? But I'm happy to show you what real trading looks like for me. Wins, losses, run-ups, blown accounts, triumphs, heartbreaks, everything in between. You can watch it all play out day in and day out and decide for yourself whether you want to hang out, listen to me, maybe win yourself a free prop firm account because we do give out prop firm accounts quite a bit. Or you say, that dude sucks, I'm going to fade him. I'm going to come every day and just take the opposite side of his trade. But that's a little bit about me. I think that's always important. A lot of people show up thinking, oh, this is a professional expert that has it all figured out, and I just have to copy his trades or listen to what he has to say, and he can tell me a special indicator to... No, none of that. Wrong stream. Wrong stream. Anyway, I'm sitting at 24,742 in a straight to funded Sim Pro. I'm debating on whether I should pull out as soon as I can or try to rebuild it. Sorry, man. I was trying to read this twice, so I'm reading it out loud. Build it to 2. The second payout, I'm going live with the max 2.5, or do I just need to, or just take a payout to pay myself and go live with whatever? Plays with fire. This is a good question. And I'll read some more of the chat because we got people asking questions. I'll pick and choose some questions because I'm taking longer and we're running out of time, which I always do anyway. So there's not a single one best answer to that question, right? I think it comes down to two things. Some people will say, always take a payout, always take risk off, forget about ever leaving any account, money in the account. And I have a trader on like Isaac this past week who's the complete opposite. Focus on live only, don't take payouts, take a minimum payout well after you built a buffer. Here's what I think it comes down to, what I would do, going back. Have you taken payouts before? You don't have to answer these questions. Have you taken payouts before, right? Are you in a place where you've already built some consistency, maybe a little bit in your trading? You've checked off a couple of those boxes where you've made it real for yourself. You've built that confidence like we're talking about. If yes, then maybe consider building towards that focus on live. If no, then take a payout, right? I think you can never go wrong making it real, taking actually the risk off the line, putting that money in your account and saying, hey, I got paid out on this, all good, I can reinvest, all that good stuff. I think that always can be solid to do. But if your goal is to build towards a live account, which it should be for everybody after a certain point, then yes, building makes more sense. But you have to accept on the front end that if you do that, you can lose the account as you push towards that larger buffer. And you have to accept on the front end that I was able to take out money and I didn't. And now I lost the account, right? So I think it just depends on where you're at, as a trader, kind of in your journey, what your goals are, what your longer term goals are, what your shorter term goals are, and decide for yourself. I think that's important. There's no one single best answer for that. Got about 2 minutes to MOC, guys. That I know, 4-minute mile. Yeah. If you have more questions, I would say most traders, let me simplify this up before I move on to the next question. I'd say most traders should take a payout. Most traders are not at a spot where they've taken even one payout or multiple payouts, and they should just take a payout and get paid, make it real, have more money to reinvest, just take money off the line, right? Once you get past a couple, right, maybe you start to build because you're going to get kicked to a live account, and you don't want to get kicked to a live account with nothing. So, Scott, we got another crypto commercial now. Oh my, I'm gonna fix this. We were talking about commercials running in between YouTube, man. I'm definitely gonna fix this. Definitely gonna fix that. That's not good. Cracking, man. ASAP Futures, you got a lot of personal questions, bro. Hop on YouTube and watch some of my stuff. Watch some of the podcasts. It'll tell you more of the journey stuff. Good trading related questions are good, man. I don't know how some of this stuff is gonna help you. Ralph gets the stuff, bro. Yeah, we're yapping. Taking the first payout's like a 4-minute mile. Yeah, bro. Listen, cracking. Damn, man. So taking the first payout is a 4-minute. Getting funded's the first 4-minute mile, right? If you're trading with props, getting funded is like the first 4-minute mile, right? It's like this elusive beast back when there was no instant funded prop firms, right? And then taking the first payout, it's like this crazy like barrier, right? That's in your mind that can just be a crazy challenge. And you know what? You know what happened? Same thing happened to me with funded accounts, man. Same thing happened. So I came over just a little bit about that piece so we know where we're at. Started gaining consistency, trading Forex and live accounts. Came over to the Forex prop firm journey. Got scammed, burnt out for forever. Eventually came into futures props. Started trading with Top Step, right? And I took it slow. Wanted to, not that slow, but wanted to really learn the futures market, learn a new platform, learn a whole bunch of new stuff. I came in way too confident, actually, is what happened. And I got cooked quite a bit. But this is MOC here, starting to sell off. But what happened for me was, once I got funded, which was a little while, because I wasn't just YOLOing accounts like crazy, I passed a bunch of accounts, right? And then once I took a payout, what do you think happened? I was able to take more payouts, right? But it's these, and why is that? Yes, you get better, you continue to get better, but it's that mental barrier, man. It's that mindset thing. It's hard to wrap your head around. It's abstract. And people used to say it to me. That's why I always say this. Like, people used to say it to me, and I'd be like, all right, bro, like, we get it. Mindset's important. Psychology is important. Just tell me how to, structure my trade. Tell me where to enter. And I end up talking a lot about this stuff because it's important, man. And, where to enter on the charts, not the end all be all. Like, that's not going to make or break you for the most part. So, when Zach streams, never feel alone. May the charts be with you. I appreciate you guys. Take Profit Trader again. Yeah, Take Profit Trader's solid, guys. We were talking about Take Profit Trader yesterday. Take Profit Trader, I think, is very solid. I think they're one of the underrated ones. Let's see. Yeah, guys, I got nothing on this. I really got nothing on this. This is gonna be it's a hangout power hour fest. Traded out the 20s, maybe pulling back in. Daniel, love futures. Came over to Forex, came over to futures, and say I'm never going back to Forex. Order flow making noise, but not going anywhere. Yep, but going nowhere. I see that. Yeah, man, futures over Forex for like so many reasons. Man, not even close. Like, if you're a US based trader and you want to trade intraday, I think it's really difficult to make the argument for Forex over futures, either in live accounts or with prop firms. If you're not a US based trader, I think you have other unique opportunities that we don't, like CFDs and a lot of leverage in Forex accounts. which U.S. traders do not in the Forex market. So I always make that distinction. But if you're going to swing trade, right, higher time frame swing trading, holding for longer periods of time, Forex is not a bad medium for that. But intraday trading on like, if you want to trade the U.S. indices, which you can't trade in the CFD market as a U.S. trader, CFDs are illegal for U.S. traders. Futures, man, almost no spreads, very, very little fees and commission, access to a lot of leverage, ability to trade very volatile assets, all of those reasons. Regulated, first and foremost, regulated brokers, right, with reliable volume data. Not the broker making the price where everything's just different. I once lost 5K in less than 30 seconds trading the yen. Ooh, Bank of Japan. The BOJ, Scott. Yeah, man, I feel that. Well, guys, good questions for the most part. There were some odd ones in there. Whenever I open it up, usually I get some random ones, but to the person that asked me if they can have my hair to glue on them, that was one of the oddest ones. But anyway, I came over here because the prop firms are so much better. Oh yeah, the opportunity in the prop firm space in the futures market, way better. I was taking two-step. Let me tell you where I came from, boys and girls. I used to walk 100 miles in the snow, like your grandpa used to say something dumb. I used to trade. I was trading before they actually melted down and scammed me out of my money, which I was not able to get any of it back. I was trading was it my Forex funds? My Forex funds, I believe. It's been a while. My Forex funds. Damn, I don't want to mess it up. Was it a 300K challenge? I think it was a 300K two-step challenge that cost like $1,200, $1,200 to take a two-step challenge. We're straight into funded accounts for a couple $100. I can confirm those details, but I have all the screenshots. That was one of my last straws. It was really sad. I was trading full time at that point. I was so hungry on the Forex prop firm journey, and it was FTMO and then different ones, and then my Forex funds. I'll never forget. I was like way in profit too. I had like $16,000 in profit, something like that. It's close to passing whatever it was. And I went to log in, and it was that yellow site where it was just like, you can't log in anything. And then right away, they shut down everything. CFTC's investigating for fraud. What a nightmare, dude. What an absolute nightmare. Anyway, yeah, futures are sweet. But trade whatever you want. Different markets for different strokes for different folks. Depends on what you're doing, right? Depends on what you want to do. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. No trades today, but good conversation. Talked about the journey, talked about mindset, talked about psychology, talked about prop firms, talked about a bunch of different stuff. Appreciate you guys hopping on, as always. Can't say we took a W this session, but not too bad to close out the Wednesday green, continuing a nice green streak this week. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Thanks for being here. Remember, if you want to check out Top 1 Futures, link is in chat. Link's pinned everywhere. Link is all over the place. 50% off with code RDF. Better than the email, better than the website, better than anywhere else you'll find. You can use code STACK5 on top of it if you want, I think, still. And they haven't yelled at me for talking about that just yet. But remember, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a recommendation or suggestion to do anything at all. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content. Appreciate you guys hopping on. I see the ducks. No duck races today, guys. We got something special coming tomorrow, though. Don't worry. Hop on. 9:30 and 3 p.m. tomorrow. See you guys soon.